Oh, hey everybody, Substatica here. Welcome to Skydance's Behemoth. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to parry effectively in the game. I'd like to thank Skydance Interactive for providing us access to Skydance's Behemoth. And before we get started, take a minute to click the S in the corner to subscribe. Heading for 50,000 subscribers, so very close, and I'd love to have you on the team. Also like, share, leave a comment, let me know what you think of the video or the game, and if you've played Skydance's Behemoth, leave your tips and tricks in the comments as well. And if you're interested in getting 10 to 20% off your MetaQuest games and apps, you can use the link in the description, and you'll be supporting this channel at the same time. Now, when enemies attack, you have two options. You can hold your sword or your weapon statically to block the attack, or you can swing into their attack and perform a parry. Now, it can be tricky not only to get the timing of the parry right, but the movement of the parry right. I've done some experimenting, and I think I've got a tactic that will make it a lot easier. So blocking, it's pretty self-explanatory. You're just going to position your blade to protect yourself from the oncoming attack. Now, what I've done is determined that this position gives the best advantage, for me at least, to block incoming attacks. I can move up to block attacks coming over the top. I can move over here, or low, or high over here. Lots of options. So this is rather like the first fencing position. It's a different sword. I like these kind of cutlass swords in the game, but this is how I start. This is how I'm guarding when I approach a fight. Now, one way to think about blocking versus parrying is block with your arm and parry with your wrist. So if I were to block an attack, I'm just going to move my arm and hold my sword in place. If I want to parry an attack, I am going to use the pivot of my wrist to flick my sword against their weapon, right? And in order to do that, you need to wind your sword up. So when I'm holding my guard position, I actually have my wrist kind of angled in a bit, cocked and ready to flick out. And when I move into the block position, I flick the wrist out to perform the parry. And that's it. Again, think about block with your arm and parry with your wrist. So when you combine the block and parry, so arm, wrist flick, you're going to have the best chance of parrying successfully. So again, I like to start with my hand raised on my right side with the weapon pointing down and wrist cocked in. This angle, it's not all that comfortable, but it's going to give you that flick. You need to flick up, you need to flick out, you need to flick that way, or move it down and flick. You have all of those options available, and you have that power behind your wrist to flick, right? So it's going to be the momentum caused by your wrist flicking that's going to perform the parry. Now, we are in the arena mode, and I've killed everyone except for one enemy who's been waiting down here patiently. Hello, there he is. Let's go around the other side, and we'll try some of this out. It's not perfect. You still have to be able to read the incoming attack and decide where you're going to place your block or parry, but it takes some of the chance out of your parrying being successful. The other important aspect of combat is distance, and that's true for IRL sword fighting. If they're too close, you're not going to be able to parry. So I would switch to block if they're right up against you, if they've stopped moving. So do your best to move back and make sure that when they attack, they are moving into attack. That's going to give you space to perform these parries. Okay, let's get his attention, or her attention, and we'll try some of this out. I'm into my defensive position. My wrist is cocked. Okay. They were too far out. Back to my ready position, wrist is cocked. Those were blocks. Again, he was too far out. He was a bit too close for my liking there. There's our parry. We'll just let him stew there for a second. Keep backing. Go back to my first position guard. Okay, it's fine if it misses. There's another parry. He's staggered. Just keep backing. Wrist is reset. There's another parry. Moved it out, flicked the wrist, got the parry. So remember, arm to block, wrist to parry. Let's get back into ready. Move out. It's a bit too close there. He's too close now. Again, too close. Again, we got a parry there. I'm gonna dash out. Keep moving. Like I said, if they're too close and you've got nowhere to go, then I would resort to blocking and not trying to parry. Because by flicking the wrist, your sword ends up past them and you get hit. Again, we're in our guard. Bit too close. Whew. Whoa! Come on. That's a bit too close. I'm not sure I could parry those. He's pretty aggressive. He's telling me to swing my blade, yeah. Okay, we're moving out. That was a bit close. I wasn't prepared for that one, so I didn't try to parry. I just blocked. Backing up. Here we go. He's real close. That was a lot of sparks for no parry. Moving again. Backing. Missed that parry. Like I said, it's not 100% effective. That was the same attack. So we took one hit there. We're going to hit a wall soon. I'm going to move. We got a parry there. I could have sworn that was a good parry, but I think that attack is just harder to parry. We missed that one. We didn't reset our position properly. That one comes lower, so I'm actually just missing the block. There we go. Alright, he's almost done for. But there you go. Simple things to remember. Block with the arm. Parry with the wrist. Start in a good guard. It doesn't have to be this guard, but make sure that you can reach all of the block positions and flick a parry from your guard. And make sure you don't let them get too close. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.